And
that's
important. I'm going to probably butt in a little bit here because
cool.
Before I knew what I knew 10 years ago, people would come into the clinic and say, oh, look, I'm thinking of introducing this into my dog's management plan. Who can you recommend?
Yeah.
And I can honestly say it is a minefield. It is confusing. And long gone are the days where you recommend Mavis, who worked next door, and she's done 50 odd of your dogs already. She's done really well, you know.
Yeah.
With certainly behaving within our professional, you know, conduct and saying, I need to introduce you to somebody that I know is definitely qualified, I know has got insurance, I know is current on their CPD, and I know that there is some people watching what they do. So you know, they'll be called up if they're practicing badly. And as a vet, that's really difficult knowing who, because there are a number of other voluntary regulatory bodies, and it all becomes acronym central, doesn't it? Where you're like, I don't know which regulatory body to send them to. So it is very confusing and clarity is needed. But just to kind of confirm to people why using someone from a regulated body is wise is because they have to meet criteria that show that they know what they're talking about. They're currently what they do. They're experiencing what they do. They're, you know, capable in what they do. They conform to recognized practice, isn't it? Whereas when you pick somebody out of Gumtree back page ads, you don't know what you're getting. Fair?
Well, I mean, we basically, as a voluntary regulatory body, will do the due diligence on the practitioner. So we know, as you said, what they've done in training, that they're insured, that they're continuing with their CPD, that they're sticking to the professional standards. So that means, you know, being punctual, being up to date, marketing themselves appropriately. All of these things come under professional standards, rather than, you know, somebody saying, yay, I'll fix your dog, you know, we'll throw it in the sea and we'll swim about with it and that'll be great. You know, that just does not come within the professional standards. You have to be clear, you have to be honest about what you think you can achieve.
You need to get consent. You should write clinical notes. You should leave the owner and the vet in charge of the case with a report, so that there's case continuity and there's a multidisciplinary team approach. And all of that is in your code of conduct dictated by the regulatory body. And it's not that they're dictating to you. It's you saying, I voluntarily want to be associated with this regulatory body because I know that then conveys my professionalism to my audience.